There we go. Okay. Is your mom and dad cross, Deb? So they come in together because they both came in. Um, and what's significant about this time? So is there birthdays happening right now, like for them, or their anniversaries of their passing? Like, what's the significance? Today? You're, I forgot it was grandma's birthday. What the hell? Okay. Um, okay. So just their way of acknowledging your birthday and like that they're celebrating this day with you. So please know that. Um, do you have a sibling also that's crossed? Okay. So please know that but see, here's the thing on the other side, there is no in law, there is no step, right? Like, so they just give an energy, right? So it's just his way of acknowledging that he's there too. And I feel like this is how his personality would be. Like, he's like, hello, like, don't forget about me type thing. Does that make sense? Um, Center of attention. Like, is the feeling he gives me. I have no more pain, and I kind of feel like this is both your dad acknowledging this, but also your brother-in-law acknowledging this. Would that make sense? And was there something with someone's legs? Like, what's with the leg pain? So I don't know if they had like arthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, but like I just feel like my legs are really sore and like there's pain. So whether this was when they were alive, whether this was just something they dealt with, um, but it's that feeling of like almost heaviness on my legs. So who was the walk? Who liked to walk? Who liked to like was someone a run? Like was your brother-in-law a runner, or did your dad run, or was okay? Are you struggling with leg pain? Okay. Are you under doctor's care for that? Okay. So it's just their way of acknowledging it. Have they said arthritis? Okay. So it's just their way of acknowledging that they're with you and they're helping you and supporting you through this. Um, um, who who is the diabetic? Okay. Because he's like, can you have two pieces of cake today? Two pieces of cake, one's for me, he says. One's for me. So it's just his way of acknowledging like he wants two. Don't forget the two pieces of cake. Um, and it's so funny because he makes me, I don't know if this is just like, is this John's brother? Okay. Because he makes me feel um, like he would have been the type of guy that if somebody was like you know how like when we're baking like for our grandchildren or our children, things like that, he would lick the beater. He would like steal the snacks and the things that he knows he shouldn't have touched. Does that make sense? So he's just acknowledging like that was his favorite part. Um, he goes, my sis was a great cook. So this is just his way of acknowledging, like, because I know you do cook and you do bake and you make those good things. I've been the receiving end of those. Um, but it's like that acknowledgement or that joy. Like he misses food. He loved food. Food was that food was his soul. Does that make sense? Um, what's with the chest, lung, or heart connected to mom or dad? Okay. Was this like circulation or blood flow or something? Because I feel like there's problems in my blood that caused my heart attack. Okay. He says, I love you and thank you for what you did for me. Thank you for what you did for me. Your mom says her mind is free. And so I don't know if there was like dementia or something going on with her head space, or like my thoughts were not my own, but that's the sense I get. Does that make sense? Okay. So my mind is free. My mind is free. There's no time where I am. Time is only on earth, and like to make the most of the time we have, right? Like we're not here for a long time. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. There's also another motherly energy that's on the other side. Does this make sense to you? Okay. Did she take part in raising you or bringing you up? Because she says, she goes, I have two girls. I have two girls. So it's just her way of acknowledging two girls. Does that make sense? Um, do you look like her, or do you like what is there a namesake? Do you have grandma's name? Like what's with the she is mine, my I am her. Okay. And do you have like jewelry that belonged to grandma and to mom? Okay. Because she's acknowledging the jewelry. She's a piece of clothing or something that belonged to somebody you also have, and they're acknowledging that as well. So I'm just going to leave that with you. They're not going into a lot of about that. And it could just be like something that say they would have worn that you own, right? So it doesn't have to actually be theirs, but it could be something that was similar to theirs or that. Does that make sense? Okay. Please know that they are with the dogs. Um, there are I'm surrounded by loving animals, so the pets, your pets are with them as well. Um, two dogs. And okay, so do you remember when you took on this dog and you were like, I don't know if I really want to take on this responsibility? Your dogs made this happen because there's a little bit of each of them inside of Coco. Does that make sense? Like there's moments where you look at them and you're like, oh my God, that face or that expression or whatever reminds you of your old dogs. Does that make sense? Um, and Coco says thank you. By the way, I'm connecting to Coco. Coco says thank you for rescuing me. So he wants you to know that he appreciates all that you're doing for him or her. Him or her. I feel like she was a boy dog in a past life. Whatever the guilt you're holding on to from the past, um, your dad says it's not your fault, so stop stop living in that guilt, stop living in that shame. Does that make sense to you? Whether this is mom or dad. But there's something you're holding on to guilt and shame for. It says it's not your fault. So I don't know if you weren't, and this could be as simple as like you weren't there at the end, right? Like sometimes we'll hold on to that and we'll kind of like pull it close to us and we'll hold on to that connection because that's all we know. Does that make sense? I'm just seeing if there's any more of these cards left. Come out. I send you loving signs through nature. So like butterflies, dragonflies, watch for them this summer. Dandelion breath. Dandelion breath. Oh my Lord. What am I saying? Like when dandelions dry up, but I think when I saw it, I literally thought of like baby's breath at the same time as I was saying dandelion. So like take a moment to breathe. Like I know you carry the world on your shoulders. You do. You worry about me, you worry about everyone, you worry about grandpa, like you constantly are you live in that fear. You have those anxieties, right? And I know you have anxiety, right? So you really just need to embrace all that is right now and embrace this time and embrace these moments because they're precious, right? Um and you've got this. You've got this. Because you're a strong woman. Like you're an inspiration to a lot of us. Um, your mom says if I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived life differently. And I feel like your mom and your relationship was difficult at the best of times. Does that make sense? And I don't feel like, and this is what she's showing me is that I don't feel like this was because of anything you did. This was her own shit she was carrying. Does that make sense? Um, and I watch over you every single day, she says. Like watch the sky, watch the clouds. Know that she is there for you. I also keep hearing like everyone, everyone. I just keep hearing this word everyone, everyone, everyone. And this is a time of change. This is a time of new things, new beginnings, new adventures. Um, but that we're all supporting you. And there's so many family on the other side, like friends, family. There's a young, I want to say young female that's crossed over as well. Whether this to me, young just means I passed before my time, which means I never made old age. So this could be like an aunt or someone of that nature. Um, okay. Um, but there's like heaviness in my chest. So I don't know what this is about, but I feel like almost like I'm struggling to breathe or I'm struggling to catch my breath. Does that make sense for her? Okay. So that would be this. I struggle to breathe, right? Because that's that heaviness. I almost feel like there's fluid, which to me would indicate like I got sick or I passed on my own sickness. Like, do you know what I mean? So I know when a person overdoses, because I've had 10, um, that it's that suffocation feeling. Like it's like the wind is being taken away, the breath is taken away. Um, did she have some clean time though? And it's all because the feeling she gives me is like I just couldn't deal with the sadness or this pain anymore. I couldn't deal with the emotions anymore. And so I don't feel like when it comes to her passing, I don't feel like she went out intentionally to end her life. I feel like I wanted the pain to stop. And so I wanted to numb myself. Does that make sense? To remember that tears cleanse your soul. and that this is a time of change and growth, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to not be okay, right? And I think for a very long time you hold on to things, and it's like you want to just remain strong, but it's okay to just allow your true essence to show. Do you have any questions so far? Um, put on your dancing shoes or walk along the beach. We encourage you to move. And when I see this kind of image, the first thing that comes to my mind is like that poem, Footprints in the Sand, right? Like, although you may feel alone at times, Deb, you're being carried, you're being helped along the way. And although sometimes it makes no sense and you're like, wait, I just thought about that and now I've manifested it, right? It's because when you put your thoughts out there, whatever thoughts you put out is what you create, right? So it says, we support you as you cleanse and clear both inside and out. So this is a time of cleansing for you. This is a time of release for you. This is a time of letting go. Um, it, you are on a new experience. You are in a new adventure. You're in a new area for the next 6 months, right? So it's learning to adapt. It's learning this new process. But like, honestly, when you and grandpa sold the house and you made the decision to go live in an RV, which like seriously, that's what I want to do, by the way. Um, it gave you that opportunity to just release. It gave you that opportunity to step into who you are and enjoy every single moment. And that is what you're being asked to do today, is just enjoy every single moment, every single adventure you go on. It says, hold us in your heart, not in your home. It's okay to declutter. And I love this because like you're living in an RV. I mean, how much more decluttering could you have done? Right? It says, give yourself time to be kind to yourself and heal in your own way. Right? And then the last one is continue to grow by seeking new knowledge. We applaud your effort. Like you're not alone in any of this journey. And although a lot of things that have happened in the last few years don't make a lot of sense, and you've had to adapt and you've had to figure things out, you never stopped. You just made it work. Does that make sense? All right. So I've comboed all the postcards. I don't know, but hey, we make it work, okay? I did it at the market and I've been doing it with the 14 weeks so that people don't get the same one and I don't have to keep switching between the card decks. So you got a lot. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5, and you got 6. What's important about June? Besides the fact that you're coming to see me. Okay. So there's something significant about June. Someone's going to reach out to you too, by the way. Someone's going to reach out to you. Sometimes your phone has glitches and little problems, but it's just me trying to communicate. Phone calls from heaven are the best kind. And I feel like I feel like both your mom and dad used to phone you and like on the same day. Like it was like moments apart or like some kind of like they would just call you. They would just randomly phone you out of the blue. Um, and it's just their way of letting you know that they're around. And so they still phone you. Like your phone will ring, but no one's there. Right. You have a question for me and you wish you could just know the answer. I want you to write down the question on a piece of paper today and then watch for the signs to show up that will give you the answer. We can do this all the time. I can communicate from heaven. I love you. Is there a squirrel that keeps coming over to your guys' campground? Like campsite? Watch for the squirrel. There's a squirrel that's just gonna randomly be in the tree, like right next to the camper. Huh? There's no trees. What the hell? Okay, well, watch for the squirrel because there's gonna be okay. There's something about a squirrel. So I just gotta say watch for the squirrel. So just watch for the squirrel. Postcard number 3. Watch for me in the photos that you're taking now. I work hard to show my spirit in these photos so you'll know I'm still with you always. And these are orbs, right? Like a flash out of the corner of your eye, you're going to do something today. You're going to see something today. I'm trying to slow my energy down enough so you'll know that I am there. This is harder than you think. And I wish you could see all of me, but I'm working on it. Today, let's tackle all the things you're struggling with. No more procrastinating. We can do this. We're a team. And the last one is I love that when you see my photo and my things, you're thinking of me. Thank you for always remembering I'm smiling with you. I've learned now that one of the biggest things we needed to do more of is hug. I'm sending you the warmest, biggest, heartfelt hug today from heaven. I just want you to know that even though you don't think you can feel me, I'm right here with you, holding you tight and hugging you always. Big hugs from heaven today. Who had problems with their stomach or liver? There's something about stomach or liver. If it doesn't make sense, don't make it fit. Just hold space for it. Sometimes I rub your back and gently stroke your face. It's just a way to let you know I'm there. Don't be scared. I love you and I'm with you. Always. Always, 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 always. Um, Remember that I'm always with you and it's hard to watch you be sad. So please have fun today so that I can have fun with you. And it's your birthday, so of course you're going to have fun. Huh? Okay. Tomorrow you have a what? Oh, yeah, so go stay at the Sun's house. Um, so I just feel like there's there was a lot of things you went through over the last 6 months that have made you the strong person that you are today. And although at the time that you went through it, you were questioning a lot of things, including God, I feel like you healed a lot of your past wounds because of that. Does that make sense? Okay. Because I feel like there was some ups and downs and some challenges you went through. Um, and it could be longer than 6 months, it could be the last year. Um, but it's made you stronger because of it. There's a lot of there's a lot more changes, a lot more adventures coming up for you. Um, but you're ready for it. You got the number 11 card, which is numbers. Sequences are not coincidences. So 1111, 222, 333. You know, they all have angel meanings and you can look those up. Yeah. Well, and plus you're awakening. Ladybugs, live ladybugs or otherwise, they all count. And especially in the month of May, because there's a 5 on it. So watch for the ladybugs. I saw one the other day or a couple weeks ago, which was weird. Because I was like, it is not ladybug time. But okay. Thanks, Spirit. Because it was in like April, I think I saw them. Dreams. Your dreams bring messages. And although you don't always remember them, there's messages within those dreams. Because the one thing, and I've known you. I know you on a personal level. I know that you put a lot on your plate, right? And so sometimes it's hard for your loved ones, your guides, your angels to come in and talk to you because you're so busy. You're always doing something. Watch for the deer, a beautiful message from Spirit. And just know that you're not alone. Know that they're with you. I think the biggest message that they had for you is happy birthday. Like there's no coincidence that out of all the dates we rescheduled this appointment to, it would be today. Right? Like that is Spirit's doing. Especially with the fact that like over the past like few months, I've had to reschedule your appointments. So for this to take place, for this to happen, like, and that's the thing, I openly trust, like, yeah, my energy's low, but the messages were there. Right. So enjoy today, celebrate going around the moon another time, right? Enjoy the blessings of this coming year because there's going to be many. Well, something has to change. So, thank you for allowing this to take place. Thank you for being open, and being receptive to the messages. I'm just going to stop the recording, of your